Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your support, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, for quite some time now, especially after joining the government, the ODM party has continued to give us its two sides. It is blowing hot and cold, speaking from both sides of the mouth, and we do not know where they stand. Raila says they are not in government, but the ministers who are serving in the bottom-up economy, William Ruto, are saying that they are in this government to stay. Oburu Odinga says they are in this government because there were consultative forums that were undertaken and the ODM followers agreed in unison that they were to join this government. Now, the ODM is more opposition than the opposition itself because they still retain the position of the minority leader, Junet Mohammed. The minority leader is supposed to go to the opposition. So the ODM is more opposition than opposition itself. They are more government than the government itself. They are the people who will always criticize you whenever you try to question William Ruto's policies. So we don't know. They're in government, they're not in government. Sometimes back, Alice Wahome, the CS for land, said that you cannot have your cake and eat it. You cannot say that you are not in this government while you have ministers serving and working with flags. Within the ODM party itself, the Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has continued to criticize this government. And he has faced a lot of backlash and opposition from the sycophants within ODM. The ODM interim party leader, Professor Nyongo, the Kisumu governor, has come out publicly to criticize William Ruto. The other day he wrote a letter saying that William Ruto has got some mischief, a hidden hand, as he tries to lease out sugar factories, the sugar mills within Kisumu. And he was saying that that is done without any stakeholders forum. And he has also continued to say that William Ruto is the #1 saboteur of devolution because money is not trickling down. Orengo, who is also a close ally of Raila Amolo Odinga, has continued to say that William Ruto is a man who you should not even get close to. Orengo says Ruto killed their people when they went to the streets, and he says William Ruto is a passing cloud, a man who should not be tolerated. Raila has always come out to defend them, saying they have got their rights under the Democratic Party, the Orange Democratic Party, and so what they speak their mind because that is allowed. At some point, Raila said the position of Edwin Sifuna is the position of the party. But when we listen to what Raila is not saying, we listen to people like Oburu Odinga, who has called out Orengo and telling Orengo, you should go out and vomit outside instead of rocking this broad-based government or ODM from within. We have some inconsistency in terms of lighting. There's blackout, so I'm managing with some lights. Please bear with me. So after President Ruto visited Nyanza and they celebrated the Madaraka Day in Homa Bay in Raila Odinga Stadium, there's been a change of heart. Nyongo was forced to write a letter thanking President William Ruto for that visit and opening certain projects. Orengo was seen in State House very happy when he led a delegation from Siaya County, and people are wondering what exactly is happening. With this, it seems everyone has been forced to swallow humble pie and they have been compelled to support William Samoei Ruto. And people are asking, what is the fate of Edwin Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General, who has been very consistent that William Ruto cannot be supported? I want us to look at that. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, spare something for young Franklin, who is stranded at home when students are in school. Unaitwa nani? Tuambie kidogo.
Kwa majina ni John Franklin na nasomea Thika High School, na mimi ningependa kuwaomba kama mnaweza nisaidia ku raise school fees yangu. Nimefukuzwa toka shuleni for the last 2 weeks, nimekuwa hapa home. Nilikuwa tunaweza nawaomba tu mpali Mungu atawaguza muweze kunisaidia ku raise school fees niweze kurudi shuleni. mi mwenyewe natamani kusoma nimalize shule ili niweze saidia watu wengine, nisaidie pia wazazi wangu, niweze kuwainua. Sasa naomba mkinisaidia nitawashukuru sana. Mungu atawabariki.
Amen. Frank is a boy of very few words. Hata kuongea. So guys, that is the situation. This is the school fees structure there. The balance here is 46,369. So kindly, this is very urgent because I'm really requesting that if we can do it today, if we can raise 46,000 between today, so that Monday he goes back to school. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kindly, we need some shopping kadogo too, and msaidie. Thank God the lights are back. So ladies and gentlemen, let us spare something for Franklin. We need to take him back to school by Monday because he's really missing a lot. If you can adopt Franklin to help him go through his education, is in Form 2, because the journey is still long from 3 and Form 4, we'll really appreciate. Please let us link up so that you can help Franklin. The school fees is 46,000 Kenya shillings, and we need some little shopping. Please, if we can raise that between now and Monday, we'll really thank God. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the fate of Edwin Sifuna? After the dissenting views were compelled to lie low and support this broad-based government, do you think Sifuna will lie low? I don't think so. And Sifuna is on his way out, unless Raila Amolo Odinga is playing some games with William Ruto. But I want to give you the following reasons why Sifuna is really disgruntled and he will not be there for long. He's on his way out. Number one, Sifuna explained to us that when they signed a 10-point agenda, he was given a checklist. So you'll be looking at whether William Ruto has implemented things like high cost of living, things like stopping abductions, things like compensating those who were killed and maimed as a result of police brutality. Here's Sifuna.
I think it is clear what the MOU specifies on the things that we were supposed to work together. And I think there are people who don't like me as SG reminding them what the actual content of the document is, because many of them have not even read that document. Mimi najua hiyo document vile inasema. Kuna vitu inasema lazima zifanyike, na most of the responsibility is actually on Kenya Kwanza, because they are the ones in power. So job yangu mimi nilisema niko na marking scheme. Kazi yangu ni kuangalia tu, kuna 10 points pale. Hii ya kwanza mmefanya, hii ya pili mmefanya, hii ya tatu mmefanya. Tulisikizana counties zipewe 450 billion. Ukinipea 4 or 5 inamaanisha nini? Tulisikizana hakuna mambo ya kuabduct vijana. Ukiabduct mtu inamaanisha nini? Tulisikizana kwamba political parties ziheshimiwe na msiingilie mambo ya vyama vingine. Ukithreaten SG wa chama kingine inamaanisha nini? Umekiuka mkataba. Sasa mimi kazi yangu ni kuweka marking scheme. Na siku ile unajua kutakuwa na report card. So mimi kazi yangu ni kutoa, tunasema 10 points ndio hizi, out of 10 umepata 1. Nakupea E.
So with that, you all know that William Ruto will not implement this. And if Raila was not serious, if at all they just signed this 10-point agenda for him to get into this government, Sifuna is serious about it. And by the end of the day, Sifuna will say, Baba, you told me to have this checklist and none has been implemented. And therefore, we are either walking out of this government, or if you are going to stay, I'm going to walk out of this government. So that is the number one reason why Sifuna is not going to be there. Because Orengo and Nyongo have been compelled to support the broad-based government. Sifuna will not, because he says he was told by Baba that if this is not going to happen, then we are not going to support William Ruto. So Sifuna will walk out. Even as we speak, I know is really disappointed with the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga. So he's not going to be there. Number two, ODM is losing popularity very rapidly, so much that by the time we get to 2026 and 2027, ODM will remain a shell. And Sifuna will be compelled by the Luya politics to join forces with his other brothers, because Natembeya is taking over with the storm. He's taking over the leadership of the sons and daughters of Mulembe. So by the time we get to 2026, they will need soldiers around Natembeya. And his people will compel him to join Natembeya because they will be like-minded. Natembeya is saying Tawe, and Sifuna on this side is also saying Tawe to people like Ruto and all his supporters, people like Raila, Wetangula, and Mudavadi. So with that, Sifuna will be called upon by his brothers in the western region ya kwamba kujeni tukae pamoja, kwa sababu huyu mzee ambaye tumekuwa tukimsaidia ameungana na nani? Msaliti. So with that, Sifuna will walk out of ODM if at all they will not kick him out, because two things will happen. Either they will kick him out because he's got a dissenting view, he will refuse to lie low, or Sifuna will move. By the time, if we get to 2027, before Raila makes a decision to walk out, Sifuna will go and join people like Natembeya, people like Caleb Hamisi. You know, they will say, no, this is untenable. And you know, by that time, Raila shall have only remained with the support base of Luo Nyanza. Kisii is gone, Western is gone, I don't know which the Kambas are gone. So if Raila has to go, maybe to contest for presidency, which other, you know, region will support him? Nothing. The other reason why Sifuna will have to go is because of the Nairobi politics. The way ODM is losing popularity, it will be difficult for Sifuna to contest on an ODM ticket, because Nairobi, we let's say it's only Luos who are going to remain with Raila. So the Kisis, the Kambas, the Luyas, Kikuyus are not with him and are not with William Ruto. And when you see, Sifuna is one that is one leader who is loved across the board. He's like Babu Owino and Sakaja in 2022. Sakaja was voted by every leader. Back then he was saying he's a super senator. So if Sifuna would want to retain his seat, either as a senator or he wants to go a notch higher as a governor, he cannot contest on an ODM ticket, because ODM shall have lost popularity. It will be a skeleton. And if Sifuna is serious that he would want to be re-elected, the people will compel him. And they will even tell him, Baba, wewe ni kijana mdogo, you are a millennial. Gen Zs will tell him, tunakupenda, lakini hatuwezi fanya nini, hatuwezi kukuchagua ukiwa ODM. So that will compel him to do what? To move. Because the way things are moving, it is either the way of Odinga and his political empire, or you go out. The last one, if Sifuna is not careful, he will face what Magarer faced in the ODM headquarters. Atafukuzwa. Even though Sifuna is safe because he says whatever he does, he has continued to say that it is Raila who has told him. When Raila went for the AU seat and people were saying, oh, we must support William Ruto, Sifuna said, Baba left this party in my hands as the Secretary General, and he told me that I should guard jealously the policies of ODM and what we stand for, so that when he comes back, he must get the ODM the way it is. But now ODM is Sambaratika. So there are sycophants who are not very happy. Let me tell you, if you ask Robert Alai, Opondo Kaluma, who is the ODM Homa Bay Town MP, if you ask Wanga, if you ask Samuel Atandi, if you ask somebody like Opio and I, they will tell you that Sifuna should not be the Secretary General of ODM. I dare say that. They would really wish that Sifuna is kicked out. So with that, if Sifuna shall have not left voluntarily, he will be kicked out. Because a time will come when he will be told, sasa tumeamua tuna support Ruto. Sasa wewe amua. And I know Sifuna will tender his resignation and he will go. I don't know what you think, but Sifuna's stay at ODM is no longer tenable. That's my take.